She ruined my career and my marriage in 1 week. When Emma moved into our house, I thought I was doing something kind. She's my husband Jake's sister, pregnant and abandoned by her boyfriend, and she looked so lost standing there with her duffel bag and swollen ankles that saying no felt cruel. I told myself it'd be temporary, a few weeks, maybe a month, but 3 months later, I'm living with a pregnant tornado who's turned my home and my marriage into a war zone. It started small. Dirty dishes, forgotten, on the counter, crumbs on the couch, makeup all over the bathroom sink. Then she began eating everything. I'm talking full meals I'd planned for dinner, snacks I'd bought for work, even the 6 fancy yogurts I'd treated myself to after a long week. When I asked her about it, she just smiled and said, the baby's craving dairy, like her unborn child was a magical permission slip for theft. Jake kept saying, she's hormonal, be patient. But every day my patience eroded a little more. We'd try to talk about bills, about our weekend, anything, and she'd insert herself into every conversation with another story about her pregnancy. I swear, she could turn a weather report into a tale about morning sickness. Movies? She'd pause them to complain about how unrealistic pregnant characters were. Dinners? She'd make faces at the smell of meat and run to the bathroom gagging, killing the mood instantly. 2 weeks ago, Jake and I planned our first date night in forever. Italian restaurant, real adult clothes, just us. I was so excited I actually curled my hair for the first time in months. And then, literally as we're walking out the door, Emma burst into tears. I'm so scared, she sobbed. What if I can't do this alone? What if my baby never has a dad? Jake looked at me with those helpless puppy eyes and said, she needs me right now. And just like that, our date was gone. The breaking point came last Tuesday. I work from home, and I had a huge client call, like career-changing huge. I told Emma the night before, made sure she understood. 2 hours of silence. She promised she'd watch Netflix in her room. 30 minutes into the meeting, right when I'm presenting to the execs, she fires up the vacuum. Outside my door, not quietly either. She's dragging furniture, slamming into walls, humming loudly over the noise. My boss called afterward and said the clients were concerned about my professionalism. 8 months of effort, gone in one afternoon. I confronted her. I was shaking, my voice cracking, and all she said was, oh, sorry, I forgot. I was just trying to help. The same woman who leaves dirty laundry everywhere and somehow forgets to flush. I snapped. I told her she was selfish, immature, and using her pregnancy as a shield to avoid responsibility. That I was done being her unpaid maid and emotional punching bag. She burst into tears again, saying I didn't understand how hard her life was. That's when Jake came home. He walked into the chaos, took one look at Emma crying on the couch, and immediately decided I was the villain. She's pregnant, he said. You can't yell at her like that. Not once did he ask why I yelled. Not once did he ask how I'd been feeling. He just stood there, arms crossed, protecting his sister from the evil wife who dared to expect basic respect. I told him I'd had enough. Either Emma finds somewhere else to live in 2 weeks, I said, or I'm leaving. I meant it too. I told him I refuse to live in a house where I feel like a stranger, where every decision revolves around his sister's mood swings. I won't watch my marriage rot because he can't set boundaries. He looked stunned, like I'd slapped him. He said, you're asking me to choose between my family and my wife. And I said, exactly, because right now, I'm not sure I'm even part of your family anymore. That night, I slept on the couch. I could hear them whispering upstairs, Emma crying, Jake trying to calm her down. And as pathetic as it sounds, I felt completely alone in my own home. Now it's been 5 days. He hasn't brought up the ultimatum again. Emma's been quieter, but it feels fake, like she's waiting for me to apologize. I won't. I can't. My boss still hasn't confirmed if I lost that promotion. My husband barely looks at me, and every time I walk past the guest room, I hear the faint hum of a lullaby app she plays at night. I don't know if Jake will choose me, but I do know this. If he doesn't, I'll choose myself.